So let's talk about a topic that I don't think gets enough coverage when it comes to EB1A profile building, and that is the importance of operating on the right information from the right sources. And in this video, we'll be covering what could potentially happen if you don't have this mindset, and how much time you could potentially waste, and what you should be doing to find the right information that can actually help with your EB1A profile building. And for those of you who don't know me, my name is Jason, and I work with several top immigration lawyers, which is where my EB1A profile building insights come from. I also run a paid newsletter for $12 per month, through which you can get access to my newsletter resources, which includes a profile building opportunities database that lists over 400 opportunities categorized by field and criteria. You will also get access to my private group where members have been able to find co-authors for papers and articles, have been able to find collaborators in general for profile building, and have also been able to find opportunities shared by other members. You will also get access to upcoming virtual events with top immigration lawyers, which is where you can ask questions about EB1A profile building. And I will also start adding lawyers to the newsletter group chat. If you're interested in these resources, check out the link in the comments. But going back to the video, why is it that you need to operate on the right information when profile building? Here's a visual illustration of what could potentially happen if you operate on the wrong information. So let's say you're profile building. Okay, let's say this is you. And there are like two paths you can take. One path is path number one is you don't really know what you're doing. You have a bunch of people telling you what to do, but you don't really have the right sources. So what do you end up doing? You end up doing this kind of thing. Let's say this is EB1A. You end up doing this kind of thing. You go in multiple different directions and you spend all this time doing all these random activities and you do all these random papers and you publish in all the wrong venues. And maybe you can end up here, but it takes you years or many, many months, a lot more time than you actually need to get to where you want to go, which is an approved EB1A. So why would you want that is my question. But this is actually what happens to a lot of people. They operate on anecdotes. They talk to people who've gotten their own approvals or they got approved and then all of a sudden they're automatically experts in EB1A. That is not how you want to be operating. And I can tell you this because all my insights come from working with immigration lawyers. I only talk to people who work with people who are applying for EB1A on a regular basis. I talk to lawyers who work with hundreds of applicants over the course of the many years of their career. I don't talk to people who just have one example of how they got approved for EB1A. And this is so crucial to understanding where to get the right information. Don't just operate on anecdotes. Don't talk to that friend who got approved for EB1A and automatically they're an expert on EB1A. That is not how you want to be operating. Instead, you want to be checking in with a lawyer periodically on profile building. So you have a more structured approach. So you go like, this is the threshold you need to meet for high quality judging. And then this is the threshold you need to meet for high quality authorship, and then you have really good reference letters, and then you actually get to EB1A. And throughout these stages, you will want to be checking in with someone who actually has the right information when it comes to EB1A. How to structure reference letters, what looks like a high quality authorship opportunity, what looks like a high quality judging opportunity. So don't talk to people who have only one data point to operate on, which is their own profile, their own case. You want to talk to people who have that holistic overview, who can talk about adjudication trends and the adjudication environment in general, who can talk about what is actually something to go for in your field because they work with hundreds of people in your field. You don't want to talk to people who only have one single data point to operate on, which is their case, their profile. And that is why I personally talk to immigration lawyers only, and I share insights from immigration lawyers who work with a lot of people in EB1A. That is what you want to be doing. That is the right information. Not talking to isolated people who just have one data point and pretty much like one perspective. Talk to lawyers. Periodically check in with how your profile is developing. That is what you want to be doing if you want to build the strongest possible EB1A profile.